Hi, it's Ian here. It is finally summertime here in the UK, hence the casual attire. In today's 5-minute marketing tip, we're going to talk about how to quickly engage with your new leads so you can get them progressing to being a client as fast as possible. See you after the break. Hi, welcome back. So in the last few 5-minute marketing tips, we've been looking at the ACE framework for lead generation, get the attention of your ideal clients, connect with them. So that would be they sign up for emails or you get their business card, you connect with them on LinkedIn. And then the final step, which we're going to cover today, engaging with them. And that initial engagement is absolutely vital when you've just connected with someone, because first impressions count. Unfortunately, what most of us do, we meet someone at a networking event, we say it was great to meet you, had a great time, and then we do absolutely nothing. We don't do any follow-up. Easier on email marketing, it's kind of pre-programmed, but often in the face-to-face world, we don't do anything. So what should we do? Well, there are really 3 things you want to achieve with your initial engagement with people once you've first connected with them. And this is true whether it's online using email marketing or whether it's offline where you're personally nurturing relationships. The 3 things you want to do are, firstly, you want to build credibility. In some ways, that's the easiest thing to do. If someone's going to hire you, you want them to see you as an expert in your field. So you want to build credibility. So an easy way to do that after you've first connected with them is to send them something useful. An article you've written, a video you've made, something on your website that will be really helpful to them. If you've met them face to face, you can offer to send them a copy of your lead magnet. If they've already downloaded your lead magnet through email marketing, make sure they've read it, send them a reminder of that, and then send them a bonus piece of content that really further builds your credibility in the area you could be working with them on. Secondly, you want to personally connect with them. You want to build a relationship. Good way of doing that is to ask them a question and then to spark up a discussion based on that. So in the face-to-face world, for example, if you met someone at a networking event and you've sent them an email the very next day and you maybe linked them to something useful, a couple of days later, a week later, ask them a question. Maybe look at their LinkedIn profile. You spot they worked in Portugal. You worked there for a couple of years. Send them a question. Hey, I noticed you worked in Lisbon. I thought it was brilliant when I worked there. Had a great time. You know, what were your favourite places to go out to eat, or whatever it might be. But you're beginning to spark up a conversation that makes you a human being in their eyes that they know, rather than just someone they've connected with on LinkedIn or met once at a networking event. Through email marketing, really good way of doing it is an email in or so. Ask people what their biggest challenge is. So, whatever your field is, send them a short email saying, hey, really interested in knowing what's your biggest challenge in the area of, in my case, I might say getting more clients. Yours, it might be teamwork or leadership or whatever it is you do. And then I follow that with, I've worked with literally hundreds of consultants over the years. So chances are I might have some ideas that might be able to help you. Happy to send them to you, something like that. So ask them a question. The key point is not just the content that comes from the question, but the fact you're interacting with them, you're able to answer them. Remember, even though you might be marketing to them online using email marketing, the more you can talk to them and interact with them personally, the more likely they are to buy. Most of us are looking for people to become clients rather than to buy lots of little $7 ebooks, and even then most of us aren't having tens of thousands of customers all at once. We've got enough time to interact and build a relationship with people that some of the big businesses don't have. Finally, you want people to take action. Now, you've already done a little bit of that by sending them some useful content because they'll have clicked through to get it, or by asking them a question because they'll have replied to that. But think about, in some of your emails or some of the personal things you're doing to nurture a relationship, how you can get that person used to taking action. Maybe you can just ask them for a small favor to do a survey or like a blog post you've written or something like that. But what you're doing is really you're conditioning them to expect that when they get an email or any communication from you, they do something about it. That way, what's happening is, over time, and usually a very short space of time, you've gone from someone they don't know to someone who, A, they think is very credible and knows what they're talking about, B, they have a bit of a fledgling relationship with. You're not just an email address they don't know or someone they met months ago at a networking event. You're someone they've interacted with. And finally, you're someone who, when they get a communication from you, they expect to do something with it, and they'll get value from doing something with it. If you do that, you've really accelerated generated on the route to having them being a client. Because before someone's going to be a client, you have to build credibility with them. They have to trust you. You have to have some kind of relationship, and they have to take action to buy from you. So those are the three things you want to start doing early in your initial engagement with them, so that they can do more of it later. You don't want to wait a year and then suddenly start building credibility, start building a relationship, and start getting them to take action. Then you want to start straight away, get your relationship off on the right foot. That's it for this week. See you next week, hopefully after we've had a wonderful sunny week. Cheers.